Hey, Kamanchu, you mentioned earlier on the idea of an Amazon business placement that's just come out. What is that first and foremost?
Yeah, so basically, the business placement is the ad showing up on the places where there are shoppers looking for business products. These are business shoppers. So the shoppers could have a business account, and people use those business accounts to do shopping on Amazon. It could be because the product is going to help them in business, so they can show the business cost over there, so they prefer using this business account for the placement, and also for the purchases, and also they use it for, let's say, bulk purchases. So this new placement adjustment, it allows us to optimize ads on those placements. So just like we could choose, or we could push ads more on top of search, rest of search, or placements. Now we can also push ads more on business placements, and it makes more sense to businesses or the sellers or the products which are sold in huge quantities, or to the businesses.
And how would those strategies differ? I mean, what are you thinking in terms of your placement strategies now? What would your structure look like in comparison to normal?
Yeah, so it now gives us more control. We can be more strategic. Like, there are some accounts where B2B sales are quite significant. And what we even notice, like if I talk about recently what I've observed, like because I'm now checking these placements quite a lot on the different products or accounts. So there's this account where they have like 20% of total sales coming from B2B. And when I was looking at their placements, like top of search has been a winner. We could see three placements: top of search, rest of search, or product pages. On top of search, the ACOS used to be like 30 or 40% less. But when I checked the business placements, it's actually 50% lesser than top of search. Where top of search ACOS was, let's say, 32%, the ACOS on this placement was just 15 or 10%. Because this account sells products which are more for B2B customers, and therefore it's a game changer for this account. So what we are doing as test now is we are pushing ads more on these placements. It's too early to say, but initial results are quite interesting. It's good, positive, and I'm going to be sharing a case study soon, and maybe we could have a follow up on where we discuss like the impact. But for such an account, it's very useful to push ads more on the B2B. On the flip side, there could be accounts or products where B2B customers are not there. Like, they don't want to be selling to us. Maybe those are small quantities, and even if their products appear, those looking for bulk quantities or bulk discounts, they are not going to be interested. So in that scenario also, we could just you know uh, kind of push bits more on the other placements. Like, we lower the base bits and then we push them to other placements. So in both scenarios, it essentially gives us greater control and allows us to be more strategic.
So what you're saying is if it's not a business purchase or a business type of customer, let's say gift, less likely to be for a business, you would go, I really don't want to appear in front of those customers if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
Nice. And where can you, simple question, where can you get that data to go, we actually are making lots of B2B Amazon business sales. So we should probably push that a little bit more. And the Amazon business sales tend to be more high volume sales. Is there anywhere we can get that information to help make this decision of how hard we should be pushing Amazon business placements?
So Amazon has introduced it on the UI. When we are optimizing the campaigns, we have the bid adjustments tab where we can see the placement level performance, and where we can also set the multipliers for the different placements that increases a bit. So there now Amazon has created a separate section for the business placements. So that's one way, and that's a manual way. The other way is like the bulk sheets. In the bulk sheets, Amazon has added the business placements now. So we can update from there. We can see the performance and update. And on the placement report, however, I last checked, it's not available yet. But I think Amazon would include it in some time. But placement report is mainly to understand and analyze the placement level performance. But if you have to apply it, there's two ways you do it: either on the UI using Campaign Manager, or you do it through bulk. And in both places, you have that option now.
And so that would be a case of Amazon are already displaying you for Amazon business placements, and you're just then pulling the data to see if it's working, to then decide
Yes.
it is working. They have been doing it. Now we want to push it more. So you wouldn't? Would you use the business reports at all for this to kind of see how well different ASINs are performing? Like, is that a snapshot view, or is the advertising reports are going to be more granular? Like, is there any value in using the business reports or not?
Yes, in the business reports also, like you have a breakdown of the total sales and B2B sales. In fact, like lately, Amazon has been adding a lot of B2B data. Like you could see the page views, which are B2B, the sessions, which are B2B, and even like the mobile views B2B. I could see that. So those B2B level details are there, and this essentially could be a good starting point to see whether B2B is significant for the product. Sometimes it doesn't have to be like, you know, maybe on a certain product category you wouldn't expect B2B sales, but when you look at the data, there are B2B sales. So that could be a good starting point to understand if it really makes sense. And then when we look at the campaign's performance, we could also see if B2B placement is doing very well, or generally does it do very well,
Mm,
because in that scenario we could simply optimize. But yes, I think the starting point would be to first understand the data and the overall sales, what the B2B percentage of that looks like.
mm. And will you be able to see in the business reports as well the actual conversion rate of a business customer versus a normal customer?
Yes, we can, because we have
Mm.
sessions, we have sales, and we can always take the unit session conversion or order session conversion. So that's there. Yes.
So you might go actually for normal customers B2C, I'm converting at 10%, whereas business customers, I'm converting at 18%. Great. That leads me to believe before I even look at the advertising data, I should perhaps be pushing the B2B placements a bit harder or the Amazon business placements harder because my conversion rate is 8% higher.
Yes, that's right.
Hmm, interesting. And then you might go, actually, I actually don't want to appear because that could be a reverse logic. I want to appear less to B2C customers because they're less converting. So I really want to push the Amazon business ones.
Yes, that's right. So, I mean, generally, like directly, Amazon doesn't allow you to dial down the bits on any placement.
Hmm.
What we generally do is like we would lower down the base bits. So if let's say on a B2B placement, automatically an ad is appearing at, let's say, 50 cents CPC. So we would keep the base bid lower than that, and then we would only increase it on top of search, where let's say at 70 cents we get more sales. So that's how like we could do it, and this applies to business B2B placements as well.
Amazing. Himanshu, thank you for the chat. I look forward to speaking tomorrow.
Sure, Josh.